Yo, I have a YouTube channel. I have a YouTube channel. Hit the link and check out my YouTube channel where you can watch me ranting, raving, screaming, and yelling.
I Am Rapaport podcast.
Sometimes I feel like I'm like a disruptive warrior, for real. Sometimes I feel like I am a true blue disruptive warrior, for real. Again, if you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe, rate, review, set those alerts, because you never know when I might pick this puppy up and go live on that ass. Leave a comment, ask a question. We see it all. I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast. The Holocaust happened 80 years ago. My father's 91. That's why there's survivors. It's the 80th anniversary, remembrance. It's not an anniversary. Anniversary sounds positive. But 80 years ago, we know the ramifications. And it's crazy that 80 years ago, there's still so much open, anti-Jewish, anti-Semitic going on all over the place. It is. If it's not at Coachella, a music festival, which is so ironic that Coachella, a music festival, just like the Nova Music Festival, where, of course, on October 7th, paragliders, terrorists on trucks, on foot, innocent civilians came in there and slaughtered hundreds upon hundreds of young people early in the morning on a holiday morning at the Nova Music Festival. And here we are, 560 plus days. And some of those young people from the Nova Music Festival are still being held hostage. And just a few days ago, at week 2 at Coachella, some group, can't even call these guys musicians, Kneecap, was up there with their propaganda, and they're pro this and they're pro that, and they're anti-Jewish, anti-Zionist, and they're screaming and yelling. They got lights. Kneecap. These guys can't play a guitar. These guys can't play the piano, can't play the flute, can't play the bagpipes, probably can't even play with the little baby Irish screaming and yelling. They don't rap, they don't sing. None of them could play an instrument. And some are like, what's rap music? That shit ain't, your music ain't rap. Don't dare call yourself rappers. You guys ain't, rapper. What kind of rap music is that? Because you guys are garbage. You don't sing. You don't dance. You don't play the violin. You got no talent. 0.0 talent. You Hezbollah-loving, terrorist-loving, creep suckers. Kneecap. KNEECRAP. What the is a kneecap? A kneecrap? Can one of you blow a Irish bagpipe? Can one of you strum a guitar? Tinkle at the piano? Can one of you play the piano? And you're screaming and yelling about free Palestine and Israel? Use your no talent, non-rapping, ugly. I mean, there's 3 of them. One of them is uglier than the next. And one of these baboons from Kneecap, he's so fucking ugly. He wears a mask to cover his ugly face. What are you hiding? What the are you hiding, KNEECRAP? And Coachella's a music festival. It's a baboon festival. You let baboons take over the place out there in Palm Springs with this KNEECRAP. No guitar playing, Jew hating, none of you is rapping. None of yous could get jiggy with it. None of yous can freestyle over big beats. Oh, yeah. I go back to the 80s with my fucking hip-hop. Oh, yeah. You're not DJing. You're not singing. And you're certainly not rapping. You call yourself rappers. You're saying MCing nothing. You girls. And the one wearing a mask, what are you hiding under there? You ugly. Shite music. Kneecap. KNEECRAP. I wasn't even going to say anything about these. I wasn't even going to say anything about these people. But they got so much attention for being out there. 80 years, almost to the day after the Holocaust. And it's crazy because Khalil Muhammad, we know who Khalil Muhammad is, his wife gave birth to a baby boy. Poor baby boy. Damn. So terrible to come into the world knowing your father ain't. And like, keep the kids out of it. Like, keep the Jews out of it, Khalil. You brought this attention onto yourself. Gave birth to a baby on the 80th year since the Holocaust. Oh, the irony. Oh, the irony. Of course, that Palestinian victimhood bullshit, that terrorist victimhood bullshit. The wife put out a statement, we got a baby, and ba, and my husband, ba. You wasn't saying any of that when your husband was running around Columbia University harassing people. You wasn't saying any of that when your husband was not just running around Columbia University, he's running around New York City. Now there's documentation of this scumbag, Khalil Muhammad, Washington Square Park, talking greasy to Jewish people. You wasn't saying any of that, were you, sweetheart? Hope your breastises got some nice baby milk, okay? You're going to need that fresh, nature's way baby milk to keep that kid fed. And I hope you raise him. I hope you raise him better than Khalil was raised. But I doubt it. Any kind of terrorist is going to find himself a terrorist chick. I just hope, for the baby's sake, that you don't raise him with that terrorist mindset. But I wouldn't bet on it. The victimhood, we did nothing. Khalil's there. He's in IC. Yeah, he's in a detention center. That's right. Bad choices. Khalil wasn't putting together the bassinet, that diaper genie. Khalil wasn't painting the baby room. Khalil didn't go get a job to prepare for this moment. What did Khalil do? And Khalil's getting kicked out. And Kneecap, you better hope your little Coachella show doesn't come across the desk of an immigration lawyer. Because not only are you on that Free Palestine, not only are you on that F Israel, you like Hezbollah. All the video, see, you wanted the attention. Well, now all the attention is coming your way, Negro. You better hope when you were in London, gargling, celebrating Hezbollah and Hezbollah sucking. You better hope that doesn't make its way to an immigration lawyer, a nice Jewish immigration lawyer. Because you might not ever make it back into the United States or the UK, and they'll be like, well, they shut us down. We're so crazy. We're so radical. Cool, be so crazy, be so radical, wherever the fuck you guys came from. They're going to shut down all this goofy. And I like it. I like it. I don't feel bad for Khalil Muhammad's wife, Dor, at all. They did it to themselves. She did it to herself. She was participating in it too. Khalil's not a victim. Khalil's now prisoner 177.C. That's who Khalil Muhammad is. 177.C. Khalil and I gave birth to our first son. Who gives a... You're not getting no sympathy. You thought it was sweet. Khalil thought it was running around Washington Square Park, popping. And on the 80th anniversary, Remembrance, another encampment started on another school, which is supposed to be filled with the smartest of the smart. Yale, taking over the college, taking over the campus. Bunch of masked freaks taking over the campus. Yale, Harvard, Columbia, Cornell, MIT. Took over the campus. And this can't be coincidence that it happened on Holocaust Remembrance Day. It can't be. It can't be, just like it wasn't a coincidence that it started October 8th, the celebrations on these campuses. And now 560 plus days later, it's still going on. And these scumbags, your little scum. I'm going to talk to the parents of these little scumbags on the Yale campus specifically. The parents. Why don't you get your kids in the dorm? Snatch your kids up in the dorm. Because kids aren't just kids. Kids aren't just being kids. They're not just expressing themselves. They're anti-Semitic, hateful little scumbags. You're raising anti-Semitic, hateful, little masked up little scumbags. And I'm known to come up with a tune on the spot. I don't know why the parents of the Harvard kids, the Yale kids, and all these supposed campuses of higher education get your kids in the dorm. I said, get your kids in the dorm. I said, get your kids in the dorm. Where's the parents of these nerds? Where's the parents? You ain't adults. Your mama and your daddy are paying for you to be on these campuses. And I hope it all comes down. I hope it all comes down. But the fact that they're able to do it on these college campuses still, 560 plus days later with masks on their face. I want to know who I'm hiring. I want to know if I'm hiring a hateful little scumbag. I want to know if I'm dating a hateful little scumbag. I want to know if I'm renting my home, my apartment to a hateful little scumbag. I want to know when I'm in Chick-fil-A if a hateful little scumbag is feeding me my food. Why are they still wearing masks? Kathy Hochul, governor of New York, Yale, these states. And then when there's ramifications, you start talking that Donald Trump. We're not letting the scumbags run the asylum. There's ramifications to these little scumbags. So now we're going to defund Yale. That's next. We're going to defund Harvard. We're going to shut that hole down once and for all. Take the money back. And now they're suing the Trump administration for this, that, and third. Go for it. I'm team Trump administration. With this Harvard lawsuit, if this even becomes a lawsuit, I would please invite me to court. Please let me know when this is going down in court. I will be there. Bells and whistles on. And when you lose the court case, and you're going to lose the court case, Harvard, Yale, and the rest of them, you're going to lose the court case. And these parents are raising little losers that idolize. You think being a martyr is dope? Being a martyr is dope when it's on your terms, right? Being a martyr seems to be dope when it is on their terms. I just don't understand the math of martyrdom. I know they think he blew himself up. He's a martyr. He has 72 virgins. What if he gets blown up? What if it's a random Tuesday and he gets blown up? Are you then a martyr? Like if you haven't killed Jews and Zionists, but you're thinking about killing Jews and Zionists, are you still a martyr? Do you get 50 versions instead of the 72 versions? Like how does it work? You can't be a halfway martyr. Just like you can't be a halfway terrorist sympathizer. It's all in. I'm just so curious because this martyr thing and these intifadas, they celebrate these on campuses. And listen, I ain't no tough guy, 55 years old. Is somebody on one of these college campuses capable of throwing a strong left hook? Because I see these little creep suckers with their masks. I see them with their drums talking about globalize the intifada and resist this and defund that. And you can't walk here and you can't walk there. Is somebody not going to just snuff one of these little because they're bullies. And the only way to stop a bully is to bully the bully. To quote the great Zach Randolph, the only way to deal with bullies is to bully the bully. To quote the great Zebo. Kanye West, you got no friends. I would say this one or that one, somebody come and get Kanye West. But first of all, I could give two about this dog. I've been on him like white on rice, like cold on ice, like stink on since he opened up his big, stupid mouth. It's been years. And now Kanye West, who is a self-proclaimed Nazi. You're not a Nazi. The Nazis are all dead. You ain't no Nazi. I don't know why people throw that term around so loosely. He's a Nazi. I'm a Nazi. He's like a Nazi. No. Come up with something else. You could be all sorts of different things. The English language is beautiful. Make a word up. The Nazis and the Nazism, it was eradicated. Baruch Hashem. It was eradicated. Baruch Hashem. The term shouldn't come up again. But this self-proclaimed wannabe Nazi, kooky Kanye West, this hand job with no friends in the last few days. I mean, literally got nobody. You got nothing. See, money can't buy you love. Money can't even buy you a fake friend. When you're that big of a piece of like Kanye's, you can't even buy a fake friend at this point. You got nobody in your corner. There's nobody that gives two about Kanye West left. Nobody cares. And I say, good, you did it to yours. I don't feel bad for this guy at all. The open anti-Jewishness that he has put out for years now. We're talking years. And this week, he said that he can't see his son. He can't see his kids. Kanye West can't see his kids. You call yourself a Nazi. Why the fuck would anybody let somebody that calls themselves a Nazi, let them see their kids? You're never going to see them. I'm Team Kardashian. I'm Team Kim. I'm Team Chloe. I'm Team Chris. I'm Team Coco, Rob, all of them. You did this to yourself. Of course you ain't going to see your kids. Why would they let you see your kids? You need to be in an institution, homeboy. Lock them up. Lock him up. Lock him up. Lock him up. Sample that, scumbag. Of course you're not going to see your kids. Nazi? Who would let their kid, who in their right mind would let somebody that goes around saying they're a Nazi see their kids? And on top of it, this week, in the land and the world of the scummiest scumbag in the history of hip hop, this guy came out and put out some song talking about he was sucking his cousin's loaf for 8 years. Good. Ha! We knew this. Was your cousin Jewish? Was the cousin whose you were sucking Jewish? I'm waiting for that to be the final part of the whole thing. This was happening. That was happening. I was sucking my cousin's. I'm waiting for you to say he was Jewish. Somehow it's got to be tied back to the Jews. I don't care whose he was sucking, what was happening to you. None of it is an excuse for you to be on the streets screaming and yelling, saying you're a Nazi, talking all this anti-Semitic, anti-Jewish. We all know you were a sucker. We just didn't know that you weren't actually a sucker. We expected some sympathy. Were you expecting some sympathy, Kanye? I'm Kanye. I sucked my cousin's until I was 14. Did you expect anybody to feel bad for you? F you, man. F you. I just want to know, was your cousin Jewish? That's all I want to know. Were you sucking your Jewish cousin? Bozo? Clown? I personally think your mother's alive. I believe that Donda, his mother, is alive. And she just can't. And she couldn't deal with the shame. So she went away to the Cayman Islands or Cuba or something like that. She said, my son is such a piece of shit. Such a miserable, disgusting, vile piece of shit. I want to get away from him. That's what I think. I think Donda's alive. People are like, Mike, that's hardcore. What he has said, the open anti-Semitic, anti-Jewishness, has inspired and softened the palate of so many others. Kanye West. Kanye West. His cousin. His mom. Anything to do with this guy. Period. I stand on that. 10 toes down. All day, every day. Anyway, I'm done. Make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend about the world's most disruptive podcast, certified the world's most disruptive podcast. Subscribe, rate, review. Miles Jordan, a.k.a. the Bleach Brothers, a.k.a. the Just Brothers. Take me out with something real nice. Take me out with something real loud. But most importantly, end this puppy with something super duper funky. It's I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast. I'm out.
I Am Rapaport Podcast.
Yo, I have a YouTube channel. I have a YouTube channel. Hit the link and check out my YouTube channel where you can watch me ranting, raving, screaming, and yelling